You guys seen
Uh,
this Afro Man trial? What's up?
I've seen a bit about it. It's pretty insane.
It is weird. I'm getting a lot of secondhand. I prefer people to tell me about it
Mm.
because when they tell me about it, it's interesting because then when I go check it out, I'm like, this is
Listen.
way less interesting than
Yeah,
your enthusiasm about it. So now I just am like, any new information on the trial?
because isn't it
Uh,
he just used footage of him being arrested for a music video and the
Hmm.
cops suing him? Isn't that all this is?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
Yep.
shows up to the trial in the same suit that he's wearing in the music video. Pretty baller.
Yeah.
I watched the
Pretty sick.
ex-wife's testimony and that cracked me up a little bit, but that's like, I don't know. You guys know the premise of that part of it?
Nope.
He's like claiming that Afro Man slept with his wife and that's why they got divorced, but he can't say that that's true because if it's true, then it's not defamation because that's what the song's about, like him fucking this dude's wife. So if it's true, it's not defamation. And then he's like, so it's not true. And then he's like, you can't claim it's not true either for some reason. So yeah, it's like the whole thing is he's like trying to make give the impression that Afro Man slept with his wife as according to the song and that it led to his divorce. It's weird. But then she gets on the trial on the stand and she's like, no, none of this shit. Like my husband sucked. I left his ass, you know? She's like, it wasn't because of the song, you know?
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Research. You are the audience, and together we are in a quest for Dynasty Domination. How's it going over there, Daniel and AJ? Fuck, I'm so used to it.
Uh,
You know, living, doing well.
I'm good. I'm sitting here in my bar. It's Miller time, obviously.
It's
So we're having a good time.
always Miller time.
Always Miller time. Let's go.
Well, good man. I'm glad you guys are doing good.
It's
We are
Maker's Mark time.
Makers Mark. Oh Jesus, I don't think we can hang.
I like to slowly be a problem, not a problem right out of the gate.
But we are back. We are back for another round of 32. We are cooking through this tournament. So we are heading back to the West Coast, and I promise it'll be more interesting than the round of 64 for the West Coast, which was filled with a bunch of guys who will be your coworkers soon. Now we are
I ain't
moving
hiring them.
moving on to some guys with actual draft stock. So we will go up first. Our number one seed, wide receiver out of Arizona State, Jordan Tyson, going up against the number 8 seed, Jacoby Lane, wide receiver out of USC. Um, I don't think this one's close. I think Tyson takes it fairly easily. And honestly, all I really have to start with is that it's getting really hard to separate these guys that have good combine numbers. It's a lot of these wide receivers that came out and showed out. Jacoby Lane, a guy who was 6'4", 200 pounds, ran a 4.47, a 1.58, 10 yard split, and a 92nd percentile burst score. That's good. And I feel like all these wide receivers, it's hard to say they didn't have a good combine. And the ones that probably wouldn't have just didn't run. So
Yeah, how was Jordan Tyson's combine?
fair enough.
Am I
Yeah.
right? I'm not sold on this Tyson guy, but he does
Really?
beat
Okay.
out Lane. I'm not there yet with him. I'm
Okay.
still heating up. Maybe we'll get a little action in the Sweet 16 when I see I have to look directly at his face. But it was easy to pick him as a winner on this one because Jacoby, the other Trojan wideout Lane, dude. I mean, you dropped the workout metrics, but the drills, man, he was I thought he had the best gauntlet in the whole
Okay.
lineup out there. So he was looking sharp, a little explosive. But yeah, I mean, the production was decent, you know. He had 750 yards with Lemon mopping up all the hard work. So Not bad for 49 catches. Um, the touchdown production was only four in
Mhm.
2025, but the prior year he had 12 touchdowns on fewer catches. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that, but it's great to see like a 12 catch season for a guy like that is pretty enticing. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep an eye on him. I thought his route running was really nice. I think he had a lot of like nice style and variety in his moves, like a little bit of a glide step, and a lot of stops and comebacks. So he just kind of just mixed it up, and I think he's got a lot of upside as like a deep ball number two guy, with that length and the speed and the change of direction skills he brings. So. That's where I'm at because statistically he didn't jump off the page. So I was just excited to watch him kind of play that softer coverage with Lemon over there, just milking targets on the other side of the field.
Yeah. What I like about this guy is I just feel like he's just kind of big stage ready. He just feels like he's got a real big competitive spirit,
Mhm.
which I think is nice. You know, I don't think he's going to be timid going to the next stage. I think he adjusts really well. Strong catch point too. I will say I think he reminded me a little bit of Romeo Dupes a
Oh,
little bit.
Wolfpack.
Uh, yeah.
Oh.
Nice to see a 6'4" guy breach the 200-pound mark.
Yeah, if only by
But
half a sandwich.
yeah, right. But I don't know. To me, watching him, he just feels like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of
Mm,
guy.
okay.
Just like real good, solid guy. Just not. I just didn't. Nothing. I don't have a lot of. I don't think he has a lot of downside, but he doesn't have like. He
Much
doesn't
up.
seem like he's
Yeah,
just like great at anything. You know, he's not like a.
just like the
He doesn't have a
versatility and the
specialty.
comfort really
Yeah.
came through though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think when you talk about him being opposite of Lemon, I think that's where he needs to be as a wide receiver two or three, even at the NFL level. Like you said, AJ, pretty good contested catch numbers, pointing the ball, 47% for his career. I think the burst score and his catch radius of the 88th percentile really help with that. I do think like for as physical as I expected him to be, I do think he gets bullied a bit. I don't know if you guys watched the Notre Dame game at all. But man, those Notre Dame corners were putting him through it that game. Just kind of throwing him around, and they got called for some penalties on it as well. Like it wasn't all clean, but I just feel like they were disrupting him a lot. And another guy that like, okay, he's 6'4", 200, like could he throw on some more weight to kind of help with that? And the comparison I keep seeing for Jacoby Lane, that scares me is Terrace Marshall, and
Yeah.
it scares me because it kind of makes sense. I kind of see it. So that's a bit worrisome. He didn't run a lot of crazy routes either. So I do think he'll need to develop in terms of being potentially more functional in that way. But again, that's kind of the role he'll take though. So I don't think that's a huge detriment. Like he's not going to need to be the guy that's getting open. He's going to be the number two option, the number three option. He has the skill set and the body to play like an X wide receiver, and that's going to attract some teams. I've seen like his projections for the draft are crazy. You try to nail it down, it's like anywhere from the second to the fifth round. I think he ends up probably late third, in my opinion, just because of that body type that he has that's really attractive in the NFL. And I think people want to use him as a red zone target. And you mentioned Daniel, nine touchdowns in 2024. That's pretty good, and 13 over the last two seasons. Obviously, only four this year. But I just think he's a developmental guy. So if you want him, I think the key is like, no, you're gonna have to wait for him to even potentially impact your dynasty team.
Yeah. I mean, you're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about
shocking to
Terrace.
see.
Oh, I was just gonna say you're talking about Terrace Marshall Jr., the wide receiver two in Miami right now.
Dude.
Damn.
Terrace Marshall had that red zone to him, though, man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Lane needs to step it up if he's getting that comp. But it's crazy to see Lane two spots behind McAllister, Eric McAllister, the TCU wideout on the PFF big board. So we're talking like 25th overall. I think it's a little disrespect. I think he's probably going to get a little better look than that. He's got to beat out these 12,000 slot guys. See, I guess maybe teams are going to start running two slot receivers, instead of two out wide receivers
They're gonna have
because,
to.
supply and
Yeah.
demand is getting shifted here.
That double
Yeah.
slot, double inside attack.
Dude, McVay will figure it out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
you will.
All right, so Jordan Tyson is moving on to the round of 32, and Jacoby Lane is going to stay put. Guys, we have a running back. Holy shit. We've got
Nah.
the 5 seed, Emmett Johnson Jr. out of Nebraska. I know, I know. He should be in the Midwest. Sorry. Do you want to know what the West bracket would have been if we didn't put Emmett Johnson in there? Because it would have been fucking rough. So Emmett Johnson got shifted over
Come
to the
on in.
West. And he's going up against the number 4 seed in Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. And unfortunately, that's a bad matchup for Mr. Johnson. Because I do think Kenyon Sadiq takes it. Anybody disagree?
As much as I want to fight you, I just can't
Yeah.
because my dude Emmett Johnson, coming right at 200 pounds, got to runs faster than a 4.56, man. I was
hmm
been talking about you, been watching you play,
He,
and I've been getting excited. And then you get in the combine, you should have just sat on the sidelines, man. I
yeah.
mean, seriously, this is crazy. You can't be that small and that slow, but
You
um,
know, I, I'm gonna get on my soapbox for just a second though
get it,
about Johnson because I think I'm with you. He doesn't beat Sadiq, obviously, and the
yes,
combine left us wanting. But can we buy the dip on Johnson? Because that's
big
what I
time.
think we need to. He's first in
I'm all in.
yards for our tournament, first in missed tackles forced for our tournament for running backs, second in receiving yards for running backs in our tournament. 6 of his last 7 games this season, he had over 100 yards on the ground, 200 in his last game. His ability to move laterally and avoid contact is honestly otherworldly
Dude,
sometimes.
Mm,
Like
yes.
he feels like he moves his lower body without thought and his upper half just stays focused on where he needs to go. He
yeah.
constantly avoids contact with breaking without breaking stride. I watched the Iowa game, and whoever number 43 for the Iowa defense is going to be having Emmett Johnson, Freddy Krueger style nightmares for the rest of his life because that dude was putting him in a body bag constantly. Squared him up right up against the middle. 43 had perfect Johnson dead to rights, like no blocker in sight, 1-on-1. And Johnson just hits him with a little shimmy and then a left hard plant and takes off around him. 43 ends up face planting on the ground, and Johnson's in the second level. 26% of his runs, Johnson forced a missed tackle throughout his career. To me, that's just super consistent. He doesn't have the power game to really kind of rely on, so he has to make people miss, and that's due to his size. 2.95 yards after contact per attempt, which is 14th in our tournament, which is not great. So if he gets wrapped up, that's it. And obviously, you mentioned the speed. Doesn't have the long speed to make the home runs, but that's okay. And this was the crux of my soapbox. Do you remember when we all got sleepy on Kyron Williams because
Kyron
his
Williams, that's
combine
exactly
sucked?
what I was. Let's go.
Or Bucky
Still,
Irving fell in rookie drafts due to his combine? Kyron Williams had 23% more missed tackles force rate compared to 26 for Emmett Johnson. Bucky had 35 because he's incredible. But like
awful.
Emmett Johnson sitting in that range, I'm not letting it happen again. At this
No,
point, I hope Emmett Johnson is a fourth or fifth round NFL pick so I can scoop him up later in the drafts when everybody starts sleeping on this guy. He is
no
gonna
way.
be a target for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude, he's gonna be a target for everyone. I'll let you go, AJ. Let me have my
Sorry, I
moment.
know
Let
I
me
stamped
go.
on it
Oh,
a little. I
oh.
was
I
I
mean,
was ready.
I got more, dude. We could talk
I,
about this
I
guy
was
for
gonna say
days.
I don't have much more to say because like
Oh,
just his
okay.
vision
All
his
right.
vision is great.
Yep,
Like you said, like he
that's
avoids
true.
contact, but it's not because he's avoiding contact. He's just so
hmm
GD good at avoiding
Yeah.
contact. It's like he's like he's like a half a second and like ahead of his defender somehow, and then he just kind of skirts horizontally like it's nobody's business. Like
hmm
his agility to move left and right is insane. So I think if he gets put
Like
in
a
like a
young Trey
zone,
Sermon.
like a oh, well now I'm out. I'm out.
Okay, can't eat pizza again. Sorry.
Well, here's okay. I just want to know what Daniel thinks because if
Yeah,
Daniel likes him, I'm out.
Oh,
But
I
if he
thought
doesn't,
like this
I'm
guy was
in.
so bad, so bad. Now you mentioned that Iowa game. That was his final game, 239 yards combined, with 22 receiving. So it was insane. He set his like highest yards in the tournament. He's actually second highest yards in all of college football this last year, as far as for all purpose at 1,821 yards. But the thing about him was the balance in his
Mm,
game. Like he didn't waste time hitting a hole, but he had 135 zone carries and 113 gap plays. So, like, if you look at these guys, the breakdown between the zone and the gap, they're either one or the other. It really favors. But like, he was successful seamlessly, no matter what the play call was. And it was all the speed, the burst, the agility, the open field, and no nonsense. I don't know. This guy, it is what it is. I'm glad he ran that 4.56. He did the reverse Jeremiah Love, and I hope he just falls right into my arms. 2-1 for the belt. Come get me. But we'll see how it lands. It all depends
Yep.
on what the NFL thinks.
Yeah, my first note was just coordination question mark. Oh wait, because when he's hitting holes, he looks like he's a deer, like a baby deer on ice, but it's like coordinated somehow. I don't know. It's
It's
crazy.
yeah. It's like magnets. He's got magnets in his blood. Just flopping
love it. Yeah, I'll leave
on
it
that
with
current.
this.
Oh,
Ashton Genty famously said last year, draft the
ugh.
guy that people can't tackle. And that's what we ignored with Kyron Williams and what we shouldn't ignore with Emmett Johnson. He just is consistently making people miss, and that is worth so much at any level, regardless of if, okay, fine, he can't take a 70-yard rush to the house, but he can take a 15-yard rush to the house and make two people miss when he does it.
But he
Yep.
can't do a 3 yard rush.
But he
So,
can't, that's true too. He can't do goal line,
so
but that's
he's
fine.
got a very niche. But now he's badass. I think we all like him. He only had what was like 16 on the bench. It's like
Yeah.
a 20th percentile bench total. Come
Yeah, the
on. You
strength is
gotta
not there for sure,
come
but
on.
that's okay. It's all right. Put him with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua on the outside, and he'll get those touchdowns.
Bada bing.
Yep. Put him with Tyler Algier, so he'll do the red zone running.
There you go.
Yeah. Sorry, Trey Benson. You gone.
All right. Well, sadly, as much as we all seem to like him, Emmett Johnson is gonna stay put, and Kenyon Sadiq is moving on to the Sweet 16. All right, we got another running back coming up. A Washington on Washington cannibalistic matchup here. We've got the six
This good.
seed Jonah Coleman, running back out of Washington, going up against the three seed Denzel Boston, wide receiver out of Washington. Stock is seems down on Boston, but I don't think enough for him to lose to
Ignorant.
Coleman.
Yeah, stock doesn't need to be down on Boston. That guy's unstoppable. But this matchup had no business being this tough. I'm telling you. I was like, this one had me up at night. I didn't know what to think, but I got Coleman going down and Boston persevering on this one.
I do too. Yeah.
Samesies.
Well, I took the
Yeah,
soapbox last time. I'll let you guys handle it for a second at least.
I'll take it from here. This guy's built like a dwarf. All right. This guy could wield a two-handed axe like nobody's business, dude. This
Never
guy would have
mind. He's
thrived
going
in
through.
medieval
He's going
times.
through.
he wins.
No, I just started writing that. But no, dude, this guy's great. I feel like he's got it all except for, I mean, do we care about height as a running
No,
back?
I
I
don't
don't
give a
know,
shit.
man.
As long
Like,
as you're not 5'5", I don't really care.
yeah, I don't know,
His
man. This
97th percentile BMI.
damn, dude,
Hit
I'm
me.
telling you, man, this guy, like, he sheds hits like it's nothing.
Uh-huh.
He hits the hole, he sees it and he goes. It's like thought to movement happens instantly, which is awesome to see. He maintains his speed through all the hits. Every time he gets hit, it's like he doesn't lose speed, doesn't lose momentum. I really like this guy, man. I
Hmm.
think he's a great all around guy. Like he just looks, he's a thick ass boy, dude. Like he fucking can do it all, man. It's fun to see. But I'll kick it over to Daniel because I want to know what he has to say.
Man, it broke my heart because I'm watching the film and like you said, everything is pretty solid, man. Like some very handsome receiving totals.
Soft hands.
he got 15 touchdowns when he really wasn't out there crushing it that much this year. He only had 758 yards, 17 total touchdowns, you count two receiving. And it all comes down to like this year being a slower year for him. He had a mid-season lower back injury, and he only had two games over 100 yards rushing. It was the first two games of the year. He had a stretch where he was averaging only three and a half, like below three and a half carries, and so like everything kind of petered out. Yet still, over the past 2 years, he had 2,300 yards from scrimmage and 27 total touchdowns. So it's kind of crazy. I like his moves though. I like he's got like this bait and switch hesitation step where he like pushes into defenders and then pulls away and then hits his top speed instantly and kind of just goes through a lot of calculated steps in the navigation. It's like very methodical plotting through his open field work. And I thought it was pretty awesome. It's what, let's see, 174 career missed tackles forced with 67 in 2023, which was his last full year. That was his first year with Washington. He got over 1,000 yards rushing. I think he's kind of badass, man. I don't know what to think about him. They got him comped out to David Montgomery, and I totally see it.
Hmm.
I wish if he hadn't had that lower back injury, I think we're saying some different stuff. If he had had a follow-up year to that 2024 season, but still a lack of production, 15 rushing touchdowns, like that, none of it computes. I think this guy is gonna get the ball in some big spots. He's gonna be a bruiser and kind of a cannonball, which leans straight to his size.
No, I'm 100% with you. A bigger back, which is kind of not happening in this draft class a lot. A lot of these guys are smaller, and it's cool to see him. But I don't think he lacks any playmaking ability. I'm super bummed he couldn't run at the combine. I think we would have all been surprised at his numbers. I don't think his 40 would have been great, but I think his burst score would have been nasty. I think he has dangerous bursts. Like you're saying, he can get up to that top speed instantly. Maybe that top speed's not the best in the world, but he had a touchdown against Colorado that I thought was awesome. Reads the holes and kind of bounces out laterally and then just booms through the hole and takes off up the sideline, and nobody can catch him because they're still trying to figure out how to get around their block, and he's already gone. His stat line did go down this season with a high of 75 yards after week two, but he was dealing with those injuries, which is scary. He has a lot more power than a lot of these other guys, and at 220, it makes
Yeah.
sense. 14 touchdowns, 4.08 yards per contact, or sorry, yards after contact per attempt. I hate that stat as much as I love it. I hate saying it. He can barrel through defenders, and like you guys already mentioned, well-rounded, nice receiving chops. 370 plus yards this season through the air. And then AJ, I think you nailed it too. Decisive runner. I will say maybe not always the right decision. I do think sometimes he runs into some people when he didn't need to, but as soon as he decides, it's all go. Like it's instant. Like I'm gonna go, and then yeah, he can hesitate and make people miss, but like this is what I'm doing, and he's just gonna barrel through you. There's a lot to like about Coleman. I do think like I worry about upside in terms of like I don't think it's as high as say Emmett Johnson, who we were just talking
No.
about, but I think his floor is fairly high, which is exactly the comp of like David Montgomery. Like maybe he's never going to be the RB 3 or 4 or 5, but could he be RB 15 to 20 every single year at even as a number two guy? I think so. And one last random stat, only one fumble throughout his entire career. So
Oh hell yeah, dude. He's like a little. He's like not a little. He is. He's like Jalen Warren. Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like he just as he runs, you just see Jalen Warren. Like he can catch it out in the flat and make a big play. He can be a bruiser. I think he would complement well in Denver. That's what I was
Mm.
thinking. The
Oh
RB.
wow.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if he winds up in Chicago, I think I'd be scared what Ben Johnson could do with this guy. I know
Oh,
it's
Well, I
too
hope
much.
neither of those things happen because I'd like him to get coached by a coach who isn't an asshole. So that'd be
Ouch.
cool.
That doesn't happen. That's not going to happen. It's not
ah,
possible. Sure, try another request. denied.
Oh no, they're great. Great offensive minds and the worst people I'd ever want to have a beer with for sure. Anyway, Jonah Coleman loses to Denzel
Right.
Boston. Denzel Boston moving on to the Sweet 16. And fuck Sean Payton, I guess. All right,
I
our
was just
last
thinking it'd be
matchup.
like,
Here we
Go
go.
ahead.
oh, I was gonna say it'd be like 4 beers deep, and it's like, why do you have your shirt off? We're in the
Yeah,
middle of the
why,
bar.
dude, why don't you just chill out like for 10
I don't need
seconds?
to
Can
know
you
how
just
much you bench, man. I don't know.
be a normal human being for 10 seconds? It'd be fine.
Ooh,
But yeah,
there we go.
Jeez. Good thing I'm
Jordan
not a
Howard.
journalist because Sean Payton
That's a
would like
trajectory.
call my boss and try to get me fired if he heard me say any of that.
more than
Because he
likely.
has on multiple occasions. Anyway, fuck Sean
Good
Payton.
thing you're not his
Um,
quarterback, because then you just talk crap on
yeah, he
to
would
the
just tell
media.
everybody how I'm injury prone and how I suck, even though he
We would have
traded
won the
five
Super
seasons
Bowl
to
if
take
you
me.
weren't such a Nancy. Tell you what.
All right. Join us next week for the Sean Payton's a Dick podcast. No. All right.
Shouts at
Last
Sean.
matchup, we've got the 10 seed Bryce Lance wide receiver out of North Dakota State going up against the 2 seed and Makai Lemon. I've talked a lot about Bryce Lance. I did a profile on him, so I'm really intrigued to hear what you guys think about Bryce Lance, but I don't think he beats Lemon.
I think he dusts Makai Lemon here, clearly.
Damn.
Let me read my notes. Oh, yes. Christian loves Bryce Lance. Don't write notes. He's got this.
Oh shit. Okay.
No.
Now, what do you got, AJ?
Oh, I got Christian Watson question mark.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
big
know,
time.
man.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I got a North Dakota State has a type.
Hmm.
No, I don't know, man. I mean, it's obvious that it's going to be the same question marks around Christian Watson. It's like, okay, you're a very talented individual. You put up production, but like, why are you playing at North Dakota State? Why are you playing 4 years at North Dakota State? You know, like
Yes.
I don't
Legacy.
know. It's hard to say. Legacy, yeah. I mean, dude, I bet he gets all the white women he wants up
Hey
in North
man,
Dakota
Trey
State.
Lance's
I
little
don't know.
brother. You have to say.
That's
Oh, is he
true.
Trey Lance's little brother?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I had no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's
Big
couldn't tell
time.
by looking now. You can't. You cannot tell by looking. Yeah, I thought, man, big fish in a little pond, and no one could hang with them. He just had like that laser shot downfield, like always running nos at that 4.34. The catch radius is out of this world, 98th percentile. He just owned the deep ball, pushing 15 and a half on the A dot and 21 yards per catch. It was just kind of brutal to watch. So I'm like trying to see what he has that can translate, because it's not really easy for me to like rely on that success in that environment. But he's got good releases, and he went off of the ball. He went after the ball well at the catch point, like very gritty when it came down to the catch point, especially in the end zone, red zone. He wasn't always getting separation, which was shocking, honestly. But I think he was just kind of fucking with these guys. I worry about his transition to the NFL. But I think someone's going to give him a big chance. He's kind of just like, he's very interesting. He looks like a superhero out there playing in schoolyard. So it's going to be impossible to project the success, but it's extremely intriguing.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I would have been
absolutely.
more worried about the big fish, little pond stuff if he came out and wasn't incredible at the combine. Obviously, that doesn't mean everything, but like you said, 6'3", runs a 4.34, a 1.49 10-yard split, a 98th percentile burst score, a 98th percentile catch radius, and nobody, I would be surprised if anybody has moved up draft boards more than Bryce Lance. When I did the profile on February 12th for RDR, he was on the PFF big board at 159, and I checked yesterday, he's at 62 now.
Oh
Like
damn.
just
Wow.
complete jump. He's fourth in our tournament in terms of 40, but he's got like 6 inches on the other two guys. Now, Jeff Caldwell aside, but the other two that did the crazy 40s. And then he's second in the 10-yard split. So he's great at creating separation. And I really do think, like, I know the MVS comps and everything, but I really do think he has more to his game already than MVS. I think he can run some pretty good routes. I think the footwork is a lot of fun. I think he is. I will say I do think he's like a home run dart throw, like a super high risk, super high reward guy, and it may take him some time, just like Christian Watson did. I hate making that comp, but it does make
Yeah,
the most sense. Like
it's so
I,
obvious.
if it wasn't, I wouldn't hate the comp so much if it wasn't the same exact school. But like it may take him a year to 3 or 4. But even and Christian Watson, if he could stay healthy, he would be a lot better in terms of fantasy. Like he is a game changer when he's on the field. So it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if in a couple years we're talking about Bryce Lance in a similar vein. Hopefully he can stay healthy, but I don't know, man. I do like him quite a bit. 62% contested catch rate with that size. I do think he gets bodied a little bit, and that could be worse at the next level for sure. And then the late breakout is a little worrisome. You're at North Dakota State. Can you really not break out until your junior year? That seems crazy, especially with the measurables he has. But there's a lot to like here, man. I do like him a lot. He's not close to Lemon, obviously. This was not a competition,
Yeah.
but man,
No.
I do think in terms of like taking a deep shot and a dart throw on a guy, I would be down to take it on Bryce Lance.
I will say after watching this film, I'm like, man, this reminds me of Christian Watson, and also just makes me feel so bad for Northern Iowa. I'm just like Northern Iowa is just cursing Bryce Lance and Christian Watson's name. Like I feel
Yeah.
like it felt very deja vu, but no, I mean, yeah, I'll just echo what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, Christian Watson is a game changer for sure. And so you scheme him in the right offense, I think he's going to be electric for sure.
Yeah,
Maybe not consistent, but like
for sure. Yeah.
electric.
Yeah, absolutely. But all right, not electric enough to beat Makai Lemon. So Makai Lemon moving on to the Sweet 16. Bryce Lance staying put. So for your Sweet 16 Western bracket matchups, we got Jordan Tyson going up against Kenyon Sadiq,
Oh
and
shit.
then Denzel Boston going up against Makai Lemon. So juicy, juicy, juicy. The Sweet 16 should be fun this year. Um,
Sour.
we'll hit you soon with the Atlantic and with the Midwest. But until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience. We'll see you next time.
From the mid Wheezy, take it easy.
How long have you had that cocked?
It just came to me.
I took a lease out on your heart.